Hi, in this short video, we're going to talk briefly about some of the differences that you'll encounter judging debate in a virtual world as opposed to the in-person debate tournaments you may be accustomed to. The first thing I want to reassure you is that foundationally, debate is still debate. A tournament will still be hosted by a high school's debate team. Each round, you will see a debate between two teams of two debaters, and the room will also have you as the judge. Some debates will instead have a panel of 3 judges. The speech times have not changed. Prep time has not changed. It's still 8 minutes of prep for both teams. The structure of debate is the same. When you arrive at a physical tournament, you usually have to report to a judge check-in table to get your assignments and make sure that they know you're there. Most tournaments will not have any explicit judge check-in. Instead, what they will use is your tabroom.com account. So it's very important that in that account you have a phone number and email address so that way, when a pairing comes out, when you have a ballot, you'll get a notification in both email and or text. Once you get that notification, it might contain additional information, but the most important thing is that you go to the round where you're assigned at the time it indicates. Many tournaments are using some kind of an online pre-round check-in where everyone sort of shows up 15 or 20 minutes ahead of time to make sure everyone's technology is working and that everyone is present. You'll get more information based on each tournament that you're attending. The actual process of filling out your ballot, instead of being a paper ballot, will be an online ballot through tabroom.com. There is a separate video that you might be interested in showing you exactly how this process works. But the most important thing I can impress upon you is that you should only click the green Start button to start your ballot once all participants are present and ready to begin the debate. If you click Start and people are not present, it might cause a delay in the tournament's ability to respond to the issue and help everyone get to where they need to be. Otherwise, you'll fill out your ballot online just as you would on paper. You should provide as many comments as you can, especially comments that explain why you voted for one team and why you did not vote for the other team. Additionally, within Tabroom, you have the feature that you can choose to provide certain comments only to one team or the other, rather than to both teams on the ballot. You can use that at your discretion. One important thing, though, is that you should never submit your ballot until the round is actually over. Hitting submit will end your opportunity to change your decision, and you may still find that you want to make comments, even if you're pretty sure you know who you're voting for, throughout the rebuttals. Within a debate, again, a lot of this process will be very familiar to you if you've judged in person. Students will typically keep their own speech and prep time or keep time for one another. You are, of course, welcome to do so as well. But it is not an expectation that the judge is doing this. One thing that is different virtually is that the evidence that speakers are reading should be shared to anyone else who wants it in the round prior to its being read in the round. So, for instance, before the 1NC, the first negative speaker will distribute their speech document to their partner, their opponents, and perhaps to you as the judge. You may want to have that evidence even if you're not keen on reading the evidence, just because we know sometimes technical issues may happen that cause it to be difficult for you to hear what a debater is saying. And we would like you to be able to, as best you can, judge the debate as it would have happened if it happened in person. The sharing of evidence might happen in a few different ways depending on how the debaters in the round situate themselves. They might choose to do an email chain, which is simply just reply all to everyone in the round with your new documents attached. They might use a third-party website such as speechdrop.net to distribute those documents. Or some of the online platforms we use for virtual debate, such as NSDA Campus, have file sharing built in that they might choose to use instead. Again, if you want to be a part of those exchanges of evidence, and I encourage that you might want to do that, you can have that communication prior to the round in that tech check time. Of course, we know that not everything will go perfectly. One reason why you might want to contact tournament staff for assistance is if you or one of the students in the round gets disconnected from the competition for an extended period of time, which I would say is more than a couple minutes. Then tournament staff can assist in trying to make contact with people so that we can try to get that round back on the move again. Some other reasons you might wish to contact tournament staff. First and foremost, I'll tell you, each tournament might have a slightly different way of doing that, but in many cases you will have a way to email, call, and or text the tournament staff in order to get a resolution to your issue. One reason you might have an issue is if you are having challenges either finding the competition room where you're judging or gaining access to your online ballot. You may also want to contact again if you or a student is disconnected for more than a few minutes. If you're trying to get a round started and you're still missing one or more participants at about 5 minutes prior to the scheduled round time, then tournament staff should be made aware of that, although hopefully they are already sort of making those rounds and figuring that out. And finally, there's of course just a number of random things that can happen in a round that might cause you to believe you want the assistance of a tournament official, and all those things can still happen in an online capacity as well. Finally, I want to just say thank you for helping our activity to stay active and to stay afloat as we try to navigate what debating virtually looks like for these next several months. We truly cannot have these tournaments and these opportunities for students without each and every one of your help. So thank you, and best of luck as you're judging.